Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Seek here, and today I'm going to go over and we're going to start a new series. I figured let's go through all of the settings, let's go through all the setup, and let's just kind of start from the ground up with everyone. So for me, because I wear a headset and I play on PS5, I keep it down with the volume. It gets a little overwhelming sometimes, and trying to speak over it becomes very challenging. Otherwise, these things are settings just in the audio section that are up to every player to kind of play around with and choose for themselves how to best make those work for them. For me on PS5, I have to turn almost all these settings off. Motion blur off, film grain off, color grading I leave on, light bloom I have to turn off, light shafts I have to turn off. And that's all just for stability. And in here under the UI section, this is a lot of the stuff like the crosshair, subtitles turned on or off, the color item names. So for yeah, it's a lot of this is just so you can actually recognize the floating names, the hitbox, the chat box, all these little things that appear on the screen, along with certain transitions that go on, and as your intro, I have mine turned on to classic. Um, you're probably gonna have it auto when you first start up. I got sick of looking at Lost Colony. I got sick of looking at all the others, so I just put it on classic. I just want to watch the regular one when I log in. Um, these are more for if you're playing on servers, you would want to know when people are showing up. You can actually just turn this on, and it'll pop up with a little chat thing up here, little notification telling you when somebody showed up. Um, Text chat bubbles, these appear over people's heads when they're talking to you using the chat in servers. So again, I'm going to turn Fahrenheit on here. I live in the US, so that makes sense for me. Hide floating player names. Uh, I mean, again, that's for if you're playing with other players. It doesn't really make much difference for a single player. Same with these. So most of this is going to be for if you're playing on a server. Moving on. This is uh, just basically your aim settings, how your controller works for you. I don't even really mess with them. Uh, you can turn first person writing on here so that it automatically goes into the first person writing view. I personally don't like doing that. The visual of it bothers me. Alright, these are um, full list of the different cosmetics that I've had on my system. Um, they're all allowed. I don't have any of them suppressed. I don't block any of them. If, so this is for if you want to actually block or uninstall some of these different cosmetic skin packs. Just prevent them from actually loading in on your game. You can use that feature. Moving on to the advanced tab. This is bandwidth, so you can select if you want high network bandwidth use or low network bandwidth use. your vibration for your controller, aim assist strength multiplier. Um, I actually may want to turn that completely down because I hate the aim assist thing. It kind of messes me up. Uh, Stop, explore, no audio on, close. Turn that on. That way I don't have to listen to the explore note after I close out. I get sick of listening to them, to be honest. Make sure this is disabled. If you ever have any tree platforms, you'll understand why. The bugs that swirl around on the ground and on the trees especially, and like the redwoods and stuff. Oh man, it made me nauseous. I had a grill and the bugs were actually just like crawling across the grill. Yeah. Disable the menu music, keep that off if you want to listen to music. If you don't want to, you can turn that on and you'll never have to listen to menu music anymore. Except in my videos. Right. This underwater bubble vertical multiplier. It's actually when you jump into the water, there's a ton of bubbles that appear on your screen. A lot of people don't even recognize it on one, but if you turn those up, there's just bubbles all over the screen. It's kind of crazy. Blood visuals on. Voice chat channel. Alright. Disable loading screen music. I leave that off. I like the music, so. If you play on a server, you might want to disable cosmetic dynamic downloading. So to do that, you turn this on. That way you don't end up downloading from other players. Whatever they have on their builds for cosmetics, you would actually download it automatically in the background, and it would fill up your mod storage space, especially on PS5. Now, Lost Protocol is gone. It's just gone. The save file was corrupted. I couldn't fix it. I tried for a couple days. So, yeah, we're just gonna move on. The island. I'm gonna skip the mod settings. I have a bunch of mods activated already. We'll go to the game rules though. Again, I am strictly raising up my breeding rates and my harvest rates. That's all I really care about. Everything else I'm going to leave the same. That way it feels a little more natural. So you'll notice everything stays as vanilla as possible except for the harvesting sections. Harvest damage here on player, harvest damage here on creature. Here in the structure settings, the only thing I change is I turn disable structure placement collision to on. This allows my structures to clip into the terrain. I don't have to worry about, you know, if a quarter of a corner is sticking into the ground, I want it to still stick into the ground. I don't want it to tell me I can't place it there and leave weird, awkward gaps in my build. It looks weird. Don't like it. So, anyway, moving on. Harvest shield multiplier turned up to 5. Everything here, max difficulty. The max difficulty level is 1, so I switched that over to 1. PvE mode is off, hardcore mode is off. Allow unlimited respects. This allows me to continuously use mind wipes one after another if I want to. There's no 24-hour delay in between use. So I turn that on. Rules section. I'm not sure I do anything in here except turn off single player settings. Now that's why I'm actually coming in here right now, going through this entire setup with everybody, is because with that turned off, so the game rules, under rules, go down and turn off single player settings. With that turned off, I previously have done one of these videos where I walk people through, and I made a mistake in the last couple. Apparently, my settings that I was using for the breeding here Underworld were way off because of that single player setting being turned off. Uh, so we'll get into that in just a moment. For now, PvE section, I turned the disable dino decay and structure decay to on, even though we're not using PvE, so I don't know if that will actually do anything for us. Go to PvP, dino decay, we have turned on, so it's the same as in the other section. Override structure platform prevention. This allows you to put turrets and spikes and stuff like that onto platform saddles. So I've turned this on just for uh, just for laughs, just for the lulz. Change the respawn interval. I turned on, and I turned the interval multiplier to 0.2. So that way it should hypothetically uh, make it so that you can respawn much faster in between deaths. So I'm also going to turn the interval check period down to 30. Uh, this way, if it's turned down, it won't activate this multiplier if I don't have to, and I'll just respawn quickly. I can turn it down even lower if I want to, but 30 seconds seems, or 30 seems like it should be fine. Respawn interval base amount, I leave that alone. Zone structure damage, this is if you want to change damage inside caves. If you want to build inside of a cave in your own playthrough, you might want to change this so that you're not getting at 6 times the damage for building in a cave. Some creatures could run in and destroy everything on you, and that would be bad. So next, structure prevent resource radius. I turn this down to 0.4, that way the resources in the area will respawn rather close to my base. I don't want them in the base, but close by is fine. Day cycle speed. We're going to turn down to 0.7. Daytime speed, same thing. We're going to turn it down to around 0.7. Nighttime speed will leave it the same. Override initial time of day off. Initial time of day is going to be the same as vanilla. Spoil time is 0. It stays in vanilla settings. Same like decomposition time. This is just how long if you drop something in the world before it will, disappear. Corpse. That's how long before your corpse disappears from the world. The no resource radius for players and structures I turned to 0.4. That allows things to respawn rather close to me. Harvest health I turned up to 5. That gives everything for resource nodes the highest possible amount of resources yielded from every node. Resource respawn interval 0.3. This just makes it so that everything will pop back into the world much quicker. I can turn it down even lower so that it will go much faster, but I think 0.3 will be fine. Crop growth speed times 3, that way I don't have to wait quite so long. And here's where we get into the piece that I've messed up in the past. Mating interval. Because we have the single player settings turned off, the mating interval goes down considerably. This is 0.001, so it comes up as 0, as you can see here, but it rounds to 0, which allows the mating to just kind of be almost instant. The lay egg interval I put to 4. That gives me more frequent egg spawns for things like wyverns or um, come on, the other one there, raptors. There we go. Egg hatch speed cranked up to 100. I want them to hatch almost instantly once I have them at the right temperature. Disable the damage. Okay, so these I keep off because I want to be able to imprint on my own dinos, and that's about it. There's no reason for me to change these. I actually want the dino buff, so I want to be able to cuddle with it and all that. Anyway, baby mature speed 150. Cranked right up. These things are going to grow up fast. Food consumption stays at the standard vanilla 1. That's because we don't want them eating any faster. We don't need them eating any slower. They're going to grow up by the time that matters anyway. Baby cuddle interval. This says 0.02. It's not. It's 0.015. Same with down here on the loose imprint speed, 0.015. Baby cuddle grace period, 100. And this is so that we can get babies to keep popping out quickly, move through. We don't need to spend a ton of time breeding. I don't like doing that. It's not my thing, so this will just help me with getting through the breeding a little faster. I'm playing solo, so I'm not going to torture myself making this any slower. Moving on from there, wild dino searching. This is to actually give stat points for different wild dinos, and then what they get per level on different stats. I don't change these. Same with the player. I don't change them. I leave them at vanilla rates. You can change them up, and same with this experience multiplier. You can change it up to give yourself extra stuff for doing special things or killing certain things or, what have you. I don't. I just kind of like the vanilla standard playthrough with all that. In here, I do change the supply loot quality a little bit. I think loot quality kind of sucks in this game until you get really far into it. And with some of the stuff I got going on, I just want to get some better loot than standard stuff. Fishing loot quality, I crank up because if I'm going to waste my time fishing, I want to get something worthwhile for doing it. Otherwise, platform structure limit, I have increased to 10. That's so that I can have fun with structures on a platform if I want. Show floating damage text I have turned off, and I have increased my photo mode range limit by double what it normally is. That way I can actually zoom out and get some good screenshots. Hopefully that'll help with making some nice thumbnails for my videos. After that, it's all about the mods, and those I want everybody to kind of pick up on in the moment. As we go through this playthrough, if you find yourself enjoying any of it, go ahead and click that like button for me. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. And next we'll get into character creation, and that'll be the next video. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.